For example, let us say I create 1 minute. Let me create some users inside the database. I'll create some 20 users. I'm just creating 20 users. ఈ నోట్ప్యాడ్ ప్లస్ ప్లస్ కొంచెం ఇట్లా యూస్ అవుతుందండి.
Quota is not.
యా నేను యూజర్స్ ఏం క్రియేట్ అది ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఏమి క్రియేట్ చేయను. సో దెర్ ఇస్ నో
Okay.
రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఫర్ కోటా.
Okay.
So I'll just go ahead and create all these users. More. Select. Okay, maybe నేను టెస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేశాను అనుకుంటా. I'll just make demo as default. So I'm creating 20 users here. Okay, all the 20 users are created. Now I want to give access on all the objects. I want to give select insert update privilege on all the objects of Scott user. That means I want to give select insert update delete privilege on the tables which belong to Scott, and also I want to give execute privilege on the procedure which belongs to Scott, as well as I want to give a select privilege on a view which belong to Scott user. And also let us check what are the different types of objects available in under Scott user. So I'm doing select distinct object underscore type from db underscore objects where owner equal to Scott. So this will give me different types of object types which belong to the user Scott. Okay, so I have database link, materialize view, table, view, and index. I'll do one thing. I'll just grant insert update delete privileges on all the tables which belong to Scott, select privilege on view, and I want to assign select privilege on materialize view also to all the users which I created. Okay, so 20 users కి నేను టేబుల్స్ ఏవైతే స్కాట్ యూజర్లో ఉన్నాయో ఆ టేబుల్స్ మీద సెలెక్ట్ ఇన్సర్ట్ అప్డేట్ డిలీట్ ప్రివిలేజ్ ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నా. అండ్ if it is a view, I have to give select privilege because I don't want the users to perform any DML statements against a view. I just want to have it as a read-only view. Okay, so that is the reason why I'll be just granting select privilege on that view to all those 20 users. In a similar way, even for the materialize view, I want to assign select privilege. Okay, that means I want to assign read-only access on the views as well as materialized views, but read and write access on the tables. That too only for the data, not to alter the structure of the table. I just want to give select insert update delete privilege. Okay. Now, can any one of you tell me to generate a script such that I can grant the privileges to all the users at once? Can you think of? Just you need to use the concepts whichever I told till now, including the SQL basic concepts. Okay, see here. Select, insert, okay, select, grant, select, insert, update, delete on owner dot table underscore name to username from db underscore tables where owner equal to Scott. ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది? What does this statement do? So I'm concatenating the string. I want to assign select insert update delete on all the tables which belong to Scott user, correct? So
Okay.
I'm concatenating the string grant select insert update delete on. Till here I want this is just a string and this will be common for all the tables. So I'm just specifying the string here. After that I'm concatenating the string using pipe. I'll be concatenating the string and I'll be specifying here the owner name, because to assign a object privilege the command will be grant privilege on owner dot object underscore name to grantee. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So if you see here, privilege grant privilege will be just a string grant privilege on. After that owner should be coming from db underscore tables, because we'll having like if I want to ask now I'm assigning only for Scott user. If I want to assign for all the users in the database, then I have to go for owner. That owner should be coming from db underscore tables. Okay. After that dot should be again a string which is constant for all the commands which I have to give. After that the table name should be coming from db underscore tables.
Okay.
But to username అన్నా కదా ఇక్కడ. But how will I get the username here? So what I have to do here, instead of specifying like that, we'll see whether this will work or not.
Yes,
ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ మీకు ఇది చూపిస్తాను. ఇది చూపించిన తర్వాత చూద్దాం. ఓకే, I'll just take it till here and I'll do db underscore tables where owner equal to Scott. So if you see here, grant select insert update delete on Scott.department emp bonus sal grade emp demo emp dump and emp underscore temp underscore mv. So it took all the tables. It fetched all the tables which belongs to Scott user, and then it is concatenated with the string grant select insert update delete on. This is how we have to generate a script.
Okay.
సో కన్కాటినేషన్ ఇలా వాడాలన్నమాట. దీన్నే ఇంకా ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేయాలంటే if it's a table I have to assign select insert update delete privilege. If it is a view I have to assign only select privilege. If it is a package I have to assign only execute privilege. In that case what can I do? If and else కావాలి అంటే ఏం చేయాలి select statements లో? Select statement లో if I want to incorporate if and else conditions, which function should I have to use? Ashish, what does decode function do? See here, select decode object underscore type table select insert update delete comma view select from db underscore tables where owner equal to Scott. Okay. Instead of tables, we have to go for db underscore objects. See, for the view, I only got the select, but for the tables, I got select insert update delete. Other than package procedures ki kuda cheyalante, I'll be including those also here. So if the object type is table, go for select insert update delete. If the object type is view, go for select. So this is like if and else. అంతే కదండి.
Yeah.
Okay. See here, I want to assign all these privileges to 20 users now. So I have to repeat this statement. I have to repeat this statement to all the 20 users. So first, I'll be assigning it to user 1. Next, I'll be assigning it to user 2.
A1 కదండి యూజర్ 1 A1.
Oh, A1 అని పెట్టానా? Okay, okay.
Yeah, A1 A2.
A1. A2. 5 users తీసుకుంటున్నా అండి, not 20 users. I'll just take 5 users.
Yeah.
So if I want to assign the privileges, select insert update delete privilege on all the tables of Scott user to 5 users. I have to repeat these statements for 5 users and I'll be assigning the privilege. paste. Okay, all the grants are executed. After some time, I realized that I don't want to give delete privilege on the tables to the users. Now I have to revoke the privilege. I have to revoke delete privilege from all the users, correct?
Yeah.
So to revoke a privilege again, to grant, we use this command to grant the object privilege. To revoke object privilege, we'll do revoke privilege on owner dot object underscore name from grantee. These all will revoke a privilege. These all will revoke an object privilege from the user. In a similar way, if you want to revoke a system privilege, we'll go for revoke privilege from grantee. These all will revoke system privileges. Okay, these are the commands to revoke the privilege. Now, I want to revoke delete privilege on all the Scott tables from the users A1, A2, A3, A4, A4, and A5. Correct? But if this task is assigned to another DBA, first he has to know to which users the select inside update delete privilege has been given for Scott objects. First he has to find out which users have the privilege on Scott objects. Then he has to delete the privileges from all the users. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So first to find out the privileges, what we have to do? We have to check it in table underscore name. Okay, I'll do here. See, select grantee table underscore name, or I'll do one thing. Grantee owner table underscore name privilege from DBA tab privs, where owner equal to Scott. I'm interested in only Scott objects, correct? Set lines 300, call grantee for A4. Okay, so set pages 100. Okay, so these are the users who have the privileges. These all will find it out. Okay,
Okay.
ఇక్కడ వరకు ఏం డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి మీకు?
ఉంది.
ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు నేను డిలీట్ ప్రివిలేజ్ని రివోక్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా యూజర్స్ నుంచి. సో ఎలా చేయగలుగుతాను? కన్కాటినేషన్ ఆపరేషన్ యూజ్ చేసి సెలెక్ట్ revoke. I'll just go for delete because I know I have to only revoke the delete privilege on owner dot is also a string, so I have to concatenate with double quotes, single quotes, table underscore name. So if it is a column name, I have to go for pipe from grantee. From DBA tab press, where owner equal to Scott and privilege equal to delete.
Grantee.
Yeah. So these are, I'll revoke the privilege. But each and every time it is difficult to see, like, I mean, ikkadante 5 users uన్నారు కాబట్టి okay, మామూలుగా real time లో you'll have several number of users, several hundreds of users, so it will be difficult for you to revoke the privilege from each and every user, to check which users have the privilege on the object and to revoke the privilege from all the users. It is like performing a lot of work to revoke the privileges and also to keep track of what are the privileges assigned to all the users. So instead of that, Oracle introduced a new concept called as roles. ప్రాబ్లం అర్థమైంది కదా, డైరెక్ట్ గా యూజర్స్ కే
Yeah.
ప్రివిలేజ్ సేమ్ ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుందంటే అది ట్రాక్ చేయడం కష్టం అండ్ రివోక్ చేయడం కూడా ప్రతి యూజర్ నుంచి రివోక్ చేయాలి చూసి. సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ దాట్, విల్ క్రియేట్ an object called as role. So to create the role, the command is create role name. That's it. Okay. After that, we will assign the privileges. Grant select, insert, update on all Scott user tables. I mean, we'll not use on all Scott user tables. I'm just giving it here. On all Scott user tables to role name. After that, we will assign the role to all the users. A1, grant role to A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5. Now, if I'm decided, I'm like, if I want to revoke the delete privilege, instead of revoking from all the users, I can just do revoke delete on Scott tables from role name. That's it. We don't need to revoke it from users. Once we revoke it from role, even the users will not have that privilege. So instead of giving the privilege directly to the users, we will assign the privilege to a role and then we will grant that role to that users who want access to the Scott objects. So role will act as a mediator between the owner and the user who is trying to access the objects. Okay. So example చూపిస్తాను మీకు నేను. First, I'll revoke all the privileges from A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. I'll go for all the privileges. So I have to delete this filter criteria because I'm going for all the privileges now. ఇది అర్థం కాకపోతే నాకు మళ్ళీ అడగండి, చెప్తాను నేను కన్కాటినేషన్.
Yeah.
Okay, now instead of copy and paste the commands, instead of copy paste the output of this command, I can spool it into a file. I can spool it into a script file. So let me show you that. So first, let me make the page size as 200. After that, I'll use spool space revoke privileges from Scott .log or .sql, and then I'll use slash and enter. So whatever the output is displayed on the screen, it will be going into a file called as revoke privileges from Scott.sql. Now it will be present in the current working directory. The file will be present in the current working directory. Okay. Exit ls-ltr. I have the file here, revoke privileges from Scott.sql. So let me open that file. So I have the output what was displayed on the screen.
Okay.
మీరు క్లాస్ స్టార్టింగ్ లో అడిగారు కదా, సో ఇలాగే చేసుకోవాలన్నమాట. సో ఫస్ట్ వన్స్ వి కనెక్ట్ టు ద SQL ప్లస్, యూస్ spool space file name, and then once you are exiting from the SQL place, use spool space off. So everything whatever you do, it will be going into a file.
Okay. ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఏదైనా ఇవ్వచ్చు.
యా ఏదైనా ఇవ్వచ్చండి.
Oh,
Just I will delete the last two lines because I don't want to have this pull off and 140 rows selected. Okay. Now I have the commands in the file called as revoke underscore privileges from scott.sql. Now I'll connect to the database SQL plus /sdba and I'll execute the script. So if you want to execute any script which has an extension .sql, we'll use @ and then the script name, like the way we did for catproc and cat bundle pubbld.
oh, okay.
That's it. Revoke will be done. Okay. Now
Okay.
I'll create a role called as demo. Select, grant, insert, update, delete, select on owner dot table underscore name to granting db underscore tables where owner equal to Scott. Any idea? What did I do? Select, grant, insert, update, delete, comma, select on owner dot table name to grantee from db underscore tables where owner equal to Scott. It is correct actually. So let us go ahead and check it out again. Wrong number of. Oh yeah, grantee అని ఇచ్చానా? ఓకే ఓకే. ఇక్కడ నేను జస్ట్ రోల్ నేమ్ ఇస్తే సరిపోతుందండి. టు డెమో. Okay. So I'll just assign the privileges to a role called as demo. After that, I will assign the role demo to A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. Now if I want to delete the privilege on Scott tables, revoke delete on, okay, let me write the command again. Select, revoke, delete sir. So I'll just revoke the delete privilege on Scott tables from demo. I don't need to delete it from all the users and I don't need to find anything. I just need to know to which role I send the privilege and I need to revoke it from that role. That indeed automatically revoke the privilege from all the users because we assign the role, right? So through role only
Yeah.
they will have the privileges. So once you revoke the privilege from the role itself, the users will not have that privilege. Okay, this is one of the advantage of role. Now, if you want to know what are the privileges uh, assigned to a role, again we'll use the same command. Select privilege table underscore name owner grantee from db underscore tab underscore privs where owner equal to Scott. A grantee can be a role. Where owner equal to Scott. So a grantee can be a role or a user. So if you see here, the grantee is demo. Okay. If you see here, the grantee is demo here. So even if you want to see what are the privileges assigned to a role, we'll either use db tab privs to check for object privileges, db underscore sys underscore privs to check system privileges, even for the role. Okay. Now, to who are the users having this role? If you want to find, if you want to find out who are the users having this role, we have to use another data dictionary view, db underscore role underscore privs. So in that we use the option select granted underscore role grantee from dba role privs where granted underscore role equal to demo. So this will show you who are all the users having the role demo. So if you see here, demo role has been granted to A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. And by default, whenever you create any role, it will be assigned to sys. So don't worry about that. By default, it will be assigned to sys. If you don't want, you can revoke it from the sys user. Because anyway, sys is a super user who will have access to all the objects. So actually the role is not required for the sys user. You can just go ahead and revoke it from sys. But remember, whenever you create any role, by default, it will be granted to sys user. For example, if I create a role called as demo1 and if I execute the same command for demo1, you can see it is assigned to Scott user.
Okay.
Is it clear why we require roles and how to check the privilege assigned to role and the users assigned to a role?
Yeah.
ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ వరకు?
ఏం లేదండి. ఓకే.
కానీ ఇది ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలండి, ఎందుకంటే చాలా డౌట్స్ ఉంటాయి మీకు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు, చాలా వస్తాయి.
యా రాత్రి నేను యూజర్స్ క్రియేషన్ చేస్తుంటే మీరు 25 minutes చెప్పి నాకు ఆల్మోస్ట్ 2 hours పట్టింది.
యా అదే
ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తుంటే వస్తుంది. అంటే
ఓకే కదా ఇక్కడ వరకు?
యా.
ఓకే అండి. నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ ఈస్ ఆడిటింగ్. సో దిస్ కంప్లీట్స్ ద యూజర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. This completes the user management topic. The next topic will be auditing. So like I said, if the user is trying to log into the database with invalid login credential for 3 times, the user account will be logged depending upon the profile limits, whatever you set, correct? Now, if you want to know who is the user who tried to log into the database with an invalid credentials, so you need to enable some sort of auditing to find out those details. In a similar way, if you want to know who is the user who dropped a specific object, who is the user who deleted a row from a table, so if you want to know all those kind of information, you need to enable auditing. By enabling auditing, all the information related to any DML statement or any DDL statement, or if any structural changes are occurring in the database, it will keep track of all those audit information. But by default, It will only audit log on and log off actions. That means who are the users who are trying to log into the database and who are the users who are trying to log out from the database. By default, only those actions will be audited. Okay, if you want to enable auditing at a specific object level, then you have to enable auditing by specifying audit select insert delete update on object name. By specifying audit on audit insert select delete on object name, only the audit information related to that specific object will be stored inside the database. So after some time, if you want to see who are the users who try to alter the object or who are the users who try to insert or delete from the table, you can see the audit information. Okay, so first we'll
Okay.
see how to enable the auditing. So there is a parameter called as audit underscore sys underscore operations and audit underscore trail. So these are the two parameters which we have to set. So audit underscore sys underscore operations means it will audit the sys operations, whatever the actions the sys user is being performed. So all those actions will be audited. So in order to enable that option, you have to set audit underscore sys underscore operations to true. So by altering the parameter audit underscore sys underscore operations to true, all the sys actions will be audited and all the audit information will be stored in this location.
Okay.
Oracle app oracle diag rdbms demo slash adump. Only related to sys operations. Remember, only related to sys operations that audit information will be stored in this location. Now, if you want to enable auditing at the database level, you have to enable this parameter audit underscore trail. So basically audit underscore trail will take three options. One is none, second is DB, third is OS. And you can also use a combination of uh, okay, let me make it as XML2. Now you can use DB extended. Okay, you don't require that information. Just think that these are the three options available with audit underscore trail: none, DB and OS. None means auditing is disabled. DB means auditing is enabled and audit information is stored in the database itself. So in the database means the audit information will be stored in a data dictionary view called as DB underscore audit underscore trail. This is not yeah, this is the actual object. So the audit information will be stored in sys dot or dollar. You can retrieve that information using a data dictionary view called as DB underscore audit underscore trail. Okay. Now, if you want to specify DB audit trail as OS, auditing is will be enabled, and audit information will be stored in OS location, and that location will be audit file list. So if you set audit underscore trail to OS, then even all the audit information will be stored along with sys operations in this location. Okay, so let us go ahead and first enable. Okay, let me go to that specific location. Let me go to this ADUMP location and see whether there are any files.
Okay.
Okay, so if you see here, there are some files. let me open the file. Let me open the file which was created at 8:26. So if you see here, a user connected to the database as connect slash as sysdba, and the client user is Oracle. That means from the OS user is Oracle user.
Mm-hmm.
Oracle user tried to connect to the database as sys user, and he logged into the database with the role sysdba. So that action is written to this audit file. So by default, even though audit underscore sys underscore operations is set to false, even then the audit for sys operations by default, even though it is set to false, the files will be generated related to the sys operations. Now let me exit from this file. Let me open another file which is created at 8:26 again. Even this has the same information connected to the database as sysdba. Uh, there'll be log of action also. Let's check it out. Okay, so it is only storing connect slash sysdba only. So it is not storing anything else. So by default, the logon actions related auditing information related to logon actions are going into a dump location, audit file dash locations. Okay. Now let us go ahead and enable the auditing at the database level.
Uh,
Alter system set audit underscore trail equal to, I'm making it as DB. So I want to store audit information in the database itself. I don't want to store it in the OS location. Okay. So what does this mean?
Scope equal to SP file we need to give.
Yeah. So but we are using the P file, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So I have to shut it down.
P file we need to modify.
Yeah. So let us go ahead and create an SP file from P
Okay.
file. Feature kuda panikosthundi kada.
Yeah.
Sorry. Create SP file
Okay.
from P file. Okay. Done. Shut down immediate. Startup no more. If I want to check whether the database is using SP file or P file, what is the command? Show parameter SP file. Now SP file has the value which is pointing to the physical location. That means database is using SP file. If the database was started using P file, this column would have been null.
Okay. Yeah.
Now show parameter audit. Okay, alter system set audit underscore trail equal to db scope equal to sp file. Okay, audit underscore sorry alter system set audit underscore sys underscore is equal to true. For true, will not enclose it in single quotes as true is a boolean value. Scope
Okay.
equal to sp file. Okay. Done. If you see here, I'm using Shutterbot. The reason for that is I started the database in no mount mode. So that
Okay.
means no input output operations are performed against the database. So even though if I issue Shutterbot, it is equal to shut normal or shut immediate because no one is using it and no input output operations are performed. So no need of performing checkpoint. Okay, done. Startup. Okay, done. Select. Sequence 400. Okay. So let us go ahead and change the login items. Fail login items to 3. From 10, I'll make it to 3. So alter profile default limit failed underscore login underscore attempts equal to 3. Limit failed underscore. Okay. They should not be equal to. Just space 3. Okay. Done. I'll open a SQL Plus developer and I'll try to log into the database specifying wrong credentials. Did I open it? First thing, what should I have to do in order to connect to the database from the remote machine? Is there any process which needs to be running on the server side?
Listener process
Yeah.
should run.
So we need to start the listener first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's cool. Let us check the status of the listener, whether it's supporting the services or not. Okay, it's not supporting. The reason is we were using p file at the time and we configured only for the memory level. So let us go ahead and change the local listener parameter. ఇది ఒక పారామీటర్ మర్చిపోయాను ఇందాక. So to what value should I set it? జస్ట్ ఈ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ పార్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఈ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ పార్ట్ ని పెట్టాలి స్టేటస్ లో నుంచి.
ఓకే.
ఆల్టర్ సిస్టమ్ సెట్ లోకల్ అండర్ స్కోర్ listener equal to done. Immediately the service has been registered into the listener. Now I can connect to the database with the service name demo. So I'm opening the SQL developer. I'll invoking a new session. I'll make it as demo 1. Username A1. Password. First, I'm logging in with correct credentials. So I'll show you what happens when I'm logging in with correct credentials. Port is 1524. Service name is demo
Yeah.
test. Okay. Let me add create session privilege, because if a user wants to connect to the database, the minimum privilege is create session is required. We already saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Okay, now it is success. I'm connecting to the database. Okay, I connected to the database now. First, select username, OS user, program, terminal from $v session where username is not null and username not equal to sys. Okay, see here, the reason why I'm giving username, okay, the changes are no. The reason
Yeah.
why I'm giving username is not null is because all the background process will also have sessions into the database. So all the background process, the sessions belonging to the background process will have the username as null. So I'm not
Okay.
interested in background process, as well as I'm not interested in sys sessions. I'm interested only in the user sessions. So this is how we'll find it out by specifying where username is not null and username not equal to sys. And the reason why I'm using is means whenever I'm comparing it with null or not null, I have to use is, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
C slash ANAMA slash. Okay. Okay. If you see here, what is the OS user? Mohan. The reason for that is
Yeah.
my laptop login was Mohan. So it will take the laptop login.
Okay.
So with as which user I log into the Windows itself, it will record that as a OS user. Okay. Now let us check whether the logon has been audited into the audit trail or not. So as I checked, the information will be stored in db underscore audit underscore trail. So db underscore audit underscore trail. Let me set the lines to 80. So whenever the describe command output is in a zigzag manner, set the line says to 80 or 100. You'll get it in readable format. So db underscore audit underscore trail. Okay. So in this, I'll be interested in some of the columns like select, action, OS underscore user, username, user host, comma, return code from db underscore alt underscore trail, where username equal to a1. I just want to check whether a1 logon has been altered or not.
Okay.
Okay. So this is slash action underscore name. Okay. If you see here, uh, from Mohan PC, this is my laptop name, Mohan PC. From Mohan PC, as Mohan, he logged into the Mohan PC system. After that, as A1 user, he connected to the database, and the return code is 0. For all these, the return code is 0. So return code 0 means successful login. Okay. For invalid credentials, the return code will
Okay.
be 1017. 1017 is the invalid username and password error number. So let me go ahead and log into the database with invalid credentials.
1045 ఏంటి?
Yeah, 1045 user lacks create session privilege.
Oh,
I'll click on the properties. I'll specify the different username, password. Just I'll give it as password. I'll try to connect. It said invalid username password login denied. Okay. Now let us go into the database. Execute the same command again. See here, the return code is 1017. So you can view the information in DBR trail with return code as 1017, and that will give you who tried to log in to the database with wrong credentials. In this case, the culprit is Mohan. Is it clear?
yeah.
In a similar way, if you want to alt any table, I mean like any insert select operations on a specific table, you can also audit that. So by default, if you want to see what are the actions which are being audited, you have to go ahead and check it in select action underscore name from db underscore audit underscore actions. One second. View underscore name from db underscore underscore name like percentile actions. I forgot the view name, so I'm searching it in db underscore use. Okay. Okay. I'll just do select distinct action underscore name from db underscore audit underscore trail. If you see here, only log on and log off actions have been audited. So if you want to audit a specific table, have to do audit select on scott.emp. That is done. Now if you want to list which are the objects being audited, you can check that in cell describe db underscore audit underscore objects. Describe db underscore audit underscore object. Okay. Set lines 80. Select obj underscore name action underscore name from db underscore audit underscore object. Okay. If you see here, nothing has been audited yet because no one tried to fetch the information from EMP table.
Okay.
Now let me log into the database with correct password. Let me connect. Let me do select star from scott.emp. Okay, I got the information now. Let us go ahead and check it out. So EMP action name was session recording. That means it is selecting the information from table. You can also check the same information in audit underscore trail. Instead of checking it audit underscore object, we can check it in audit underscore trail itself. Object underscore name, audit and action underscore name from DBA audit trail. It's obj underscore name. Okay, if you see here, obj name is EMP and action name is session rec. So it will be recorded in audit trail as well as in DB audit underscore object. But DB audit object will have only audit information related to the objects. But audit trail will have all the information.
Okay.
In a similar way, if you want to go for insert update also, you can specify that using audit insert on table name. That will audit all the actions against those tables. Is it clear
Okay.
how to enable
Yeah.
auditing?
Yeah.
ఇంకా ఒకటండి లాస్ట్ did I showed you how to get a metadata from I mean like ఒక టేబుల్ ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది ఆ టేబుల్ ఏ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏ సికల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ యూజ్ చేసి క్రియేట్ చేసామో చూపించాను నేను అది ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు ఈఎంపీ టేబుల్ ఉంది ఈఎంపీ టేబుల్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేశారో తెలుసుకోవాలంటే ఫస్ట్ set the line size to 400, set page size to 400. After that set long 40,000. The reason for that is we'll be using a function called as dbms underscore metadata, and that function will return the value in long format. So we need to set the long size. By default the long size will be in 100 or 1000, so only 1000 characters will be displayed, but the DDL statement will be larger. So usually we'll go for set long as 40,000.
Okay.
After that I'm specifying a column name as XX and I'm specifying the size as 40,000, and whatever the output dbms underscore metadata is giving, I want to display it as XX. That means I want to display it as characters, not as long format. So select dbms underscore metadata dot get underscore ddl. The object type is table and the object name is emp, and the object belongs to Scott user as XX from dual. Okay. I'll just go ahead and start the test database. There is some problem with demo, so I'll go ahead and start the demo database.
ఓకే.
అది మాన్యువల్ తో క్రియేట్ చేసాం కదా, ఏదో ఫంక్షన్ మిస్ అవుతుంది అందులో. జస్ట్ ఒక 5 minutes ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే.
Okay. So I'm executing the same statements inside the test database. See here. So this was the DDL statement which was executed to create EMP table. So it will give you everything, including the index also. So a primary key constraint on EMP number, and it created the index on primary key by default. So it will give that also. And also it will give you the PCT free and PCT increase, whatever the default values it will take.
ఓకే.
Because while creating the table, will not specify that. But Oracle internally will give you the default values. So it will display the default values also. This is how we can retrieve DDL from the existing object. This is called as reverse engineering. Okay. In a similar way, if you want to get from SQL developer, it is very easy. Just click on demo, the plus link, and go to other users, because the EMP table is present under Scott, right? So click on other users, go to Scott, click on tables, click on EMP, that's it. So it will display, it will describe what are the columns, what is the data type, default values, and comments. After that, if you click on data tab, it will show you the data which is present in the EMP table. And constraints will give you all the constraints which are created on EMP table. And grants will give you who are the users having a privilege. So here demo role is having the privileges on EMP table. Okay. Forget about triggers, flashback dependencies. Just go to SQL directly. This will give you the script. Even this will use dbms underscore metadata.
ఓకే.
Okay. So it will give you the same script. But the extension is, it will also give you the privileges script also. So let me show you that. Okay, it's not giving, that's it. So it is also giving the similar information. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll wind up the class and we'll see you on Tuesday then.
ట్యూస్డే కాదు, వెన్స్డే.
ఓ మీరు ట్యూస్డే కూడా ఉండరా?
ట్యూస్డే ఈవినింగ్ వస్తాను నేను. అంటే ట్యూస్డే ఈవినింగ్ ఫ్లైట్ అట్టున్నది.
ఓకే ఓకే. యా ఓకే దెన్ సీ ఆన్ వెనస్డే. ఆశీష్, నీకు ఈలోపు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే నాకు కాల్ చేయి.
నేను స్టార్ట్ చేసిన చదవడం. సో నేను శివ చెప్పినట్టు మస్తు టైం పడుతుంది, ఒక్కొక్క క్లాస్ కి చాలా సేపు పడుతుంది.
యా అందుకే కదా, అందుకే ఫస్ట్ నుంచి నేను అప్పటి నుంచి అంటుంది.
అదే నేను రోజుకి 2-3 క్లాసులు వింటున్నా కానీ మస్తు ఒక్కొక్క క్లాస్ కి అట్లా 3-4 hours పడుతుంది, మినిమం పడుతుంది.
యా
వింటే వర్కౌట్ కావట్లేదు, కాకపోతే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి అంతే.
అదే అందుకే నేను ఫస్ట్ నుంచి ప్రాక్టీస్ అని అంటున్నా.
మొన్న శ్రీ కాలేజ్ చదువుతుంది, ఎప్పుడైపోతుంది క్లాస్ ఉంది మార్కెటింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామంది. నేను ఇంకా క్లాసులు అవ్వలేదంటే ఇంకెన్ని రోజులు పడుతుంది అడిగింది అన్నమాట. నేను చెప్పిన ఇంకా టైం పడుతుందేమో అంటే సరే నేను రెజ్యూమ్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం నీదండి.
యా రెజ్యూమ్ అయితే నువ్వు ప్రిపేర్ చేసి ఇచ్చేద్దాము మనము మండే రోజు, ఎందుకంటే ఎట్లాగో ఇప్పుడు మార్కెట్ డల్ ఉంది, సో టైం పడుతుంది.
ఓకే ఓకే మరి.
యా
ఓకే మరి వెనస్డే సేమ్ 8 o'clock.
యా 8 o'clock. ఈ లోపు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే నాకు కాల్ చేయ, ప్రాబ్లం లేదు.
ఓకే ఓకే
యా
బాయ్.
ఓకే దెన్ బాయ్.
యా సరే అండి.
సరే.
బాయ్.